Hey y'all, it's Zach, the legal tech advisor here at Lawyerist. Today I'd like to show you some features that TimeSolv has rolled out. Recently, I sat down with Scott Clayson to discuss what they call Zero AR. Have a listen, see if this is something that you can implement in your practice.
Our CEO is really leaning into, and it's called the idea of Zero AR. And it's a couple of firms actually came to this wanting these features built in, and we built them for them. And it's the idea of first being able to have the ability to store your client's payment information, collect it up front, just like, when we, subscribe to Netflix or whatever, we give our credit card the first time and then they just run it, an auto charge every month, even like our utility bill, right? We, it varies from month to month. But I know I'm going to be charged. I can look at the bill, that, sort of thing. This similar type of concept that you can manipulate in a couple of different ways. So in TimeSolv, we have integration with LawPay. We also have our own payment tool called TimeSolv Pay. Okay. Both of these, whether you're using TimeSolv Pay or LawPay, you can accomplish what I'm going to show you here. So the idea is, if you collect your firm's payment information up front, it's tokenized essentially, which means we're not actually storing this information. It's all PCI compliant. You don't need to sweat all of the, I'm storing somebody's payment information details. Right. But once you are hooked up with your payment integration, when you're over here in the client and matter area of TimeSolv, you simply can come into either a specific matter or generally at your client level. And I'm going to pick my really creatively named client A. I was having a brain lock that day, obviously. Right. Actually agreeing to it. Either way, you could also put language out, saying, we've sent your invoice. Please click here to approve, whatever that you want to do.
Yep.
But the point
either way, it's easier. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can also set up then in your settings what will eventually be coming as an email once you do run payment. You can come into the narrative here and here's the message that you can send once you've actually automatically would be sent, hey, we've run payment. We received payment for your most recent invoice. So that comes at the end. But the point is now, once you have all of your payment information in, you can go to your sent invoice screen in TimeSolv. So here's a bunch of sent invoices. In TimeSolv, you can even filter a bunch of, and you can see here, ones that have been paid, ones that haven't been paid. I can even sort here by, show me just the one, I'm going to sort by the ones that are unpaid, for example. It's going to take, there we go. So I have about maybe 10 or so that are unpaid. I can also sort and say, show me the invoices I have in which I have a payment method on file. So yes, I have a payment method for these clients on file. And you can see I have, a whole bunch here, a whole bunch are paid. In TimeSolv now, you can select as many invoices as you want. You could select several hundred, hit charge, and it's going to run payment on all of those invoices all at the same time. So you can literally get paid for tens of thousands of dollars of invoices with one click, which is massive. No other, now that I'm involved with some of the other, I know like Cosmolet doesn't have this yet, Rocket Matter doesn't have this yet, they're going to. The idea of being able to run payment on invoices with one click, a lot of them, you can do what I just described. You can save your payment information at the client or matter level, but you still have to run the payment one at a time. Right. Which we had some firms, they do 300 invoices a month. So they didn't want their billing person to come here 300 times and run payment. So we did it as an in mass sort of thing. We're calling this Zero AR. You literally can go to where the only thing that's going to stop payment from happening is if the credit card itself has an issue. It's expired, it goes over its credit limit, those sort of things. Right. So the one firm that really pushed us on this, they're a family law firm of about 30 attorneys with offices in Colorado and California. And they have a collection rate of 97+% every month. And they know their cash flow is just rock solid. They're the ones who they know they're going to get paid. They run this on the 10th, 5 days after and on the 25th. So they know that that's when the revenue comes in. It's just like, it's almost like a duh. Why haven't we all done this sooner in the legal world?
Yeah.
But it is a very much a new frontier for a lot of firms to conceptually think about just collecting the payment information and storing it, and then B, running the actual payment, on your timeline.
Right.
But to me, it just makes so much sense to be like, look, you get to control when you get paid. And even if you're not doing this zero AR kind of methodology, at least the idea of like, you get the written agreement that like, I agree to that invoice, like via email documentation, then you can run your payment here. That still is getting you far ahead of the game, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I can envision a scenario where you have one client that you send a bunch of invoices to because you have a bunch of matters with them, and it's just for court costs, it's reimbursable expenses or something like that. And those aren't going to be problematic. And, they're a pain to run one at a time. And nobody's ever going to say, no, you didn't spend that money on filing my case.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
Fantastic.
that's kind of the killer feature that the idea of running payment on, it's really two steps, right? Acquiring and storing the payment, information up front, and then running charges on the invoice in batch when you're ready to have those invoices be actually paid.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. I like that one.